to hear all about these fantastic beasts. You fantastic beast.
You're fantastic beast. So, Fantastic Beasts is not a good movie. And we're talking about The Crimes of Grindelwald. It is not a good movie if you did not see every last bit of every other Harry Potter movie in the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I love Harry Potter.
Like every little bit, or like have to be obsessed with it.
I've heard it both ways.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter so much. I've been in the Harry Potter world. I just went to see the Cursed Child on Broadway. I'm a big pothead. That's 2 T's.
Potterhead. I hate pothead. Why would you call it pothead? Potterhead.
Because it's so much more fun.
Potterhead works. Did you just make up pothead?
No, I've seen it on t-shirts, bro.
Potterhead.
Potterhead. Someone told Potterhead.
All right.
Fine. So I was really excited for this movie, even with Johnny Depp, who I'm just not thrilled with these days. Because he just plays the same character in every movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got like 3 moves, and it's Hunter S. Thompson, it's Jack Sparrow, and it's Barnabas Collins. And this is kind of an amalgam of the 3. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for the movie. I go to see it, and I'm watching it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it as a die-hard Potterhead. That said, as I'm watching it, I'm going, wow. I don't think an average person, because sometimes a sequel, you can still kind of drop yourself into a sequel and have a general idea of what's going on. No one would have any good goddamn idea what was happening if they did not see everything that came before. There are so many Easter eggs and in-jokes and references back to other movies. I would equate it to if you decided one day on a lark, having never seen Game of Thrones, I'm going to drop myself into Game of Thrones and just try to see if I pick it up and like it midway through season 4 in a random episode. That's what The Crimes of Grindelwald is.
That's not a good thing.
It is not a good thing at all. And even watching it, and I actually discussed it today with some of my friends who were deeply into Harry Potter, and there's a lot of controversy because of things that happen and unfold that in some ways negate things that have happened in the Harry Potter universe previous, to which I reply, well, Dumbledore's a fucking liar, and Grindelwald is a liar trying to tell you things to wrap around his agenda. So in order for me to fully grasp and understand what I like and don't like about the film, I need to kind of see the next film, because there's so many things where I want to believe that this is just their way of telling you, well, you can't trust the narrator because he's a fucking liar. And in that's kind of a weird, lazy storytelling kind of thing.
So I obviously did not see it because I feel like I should watch at least the rest of the Harry Potters before I watch this. However, I did read the reviews. I did notice that it had a 40% Rotten Tomato. This might be the first Harry Potter movie that is not ripe.
Not surprised.
69% fan reaction, which is also not very good if you're a Harry Potter head.
No.
But here's some of the reviews I read. Some of the headlines are fantastic.
Hit me.
Vox. The plot is confusing, disjointed, and seemingly devoted to setting up a convoluted storyline that will play out in future installments.
Yes, there's going to be 5 of them altogether.
Whoa.
This was number 2.
Were these written by the writer who wrote Harry Potter, or were these...
So it was written by J.K. Rowling. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it, there are things that happen in the movie where I would imagine that if the book came out first and you got to read the book, knowing that they have to gut the book enough to make the movie, you kind of are okay with it with Harry Potter, because there's things that are taken out for the sake of making a movie a certain length where you sit there and you're like, okay, but I kind of know why we're here, so it's okay, and you kind of fill in the blanks in your head. I didn't have, there's no book, so there's no blanks to have filled in.
There's no book.
No book.
Okay, I did not know that. That's what threw me a little bit. I thought there was a book or something to have a roadmap for this.
No roadmap.
And I actually, look, watching the Harry Potter movies, I do feel like you need to read a book to understand more of the backstory or the side story, maybe.
Agreed.
And that's why I'm a little, maybe why I don't love the movies. I think these movies are made for the people who love the books rather than a new audience.
Exactly, 100%.
And I'm thinking of maybe throwing one on Audible to see how it goes. But that's why I think I'm struggling a little bit with the Harry Potter movies, seeing them as just movies as an adult.
Right.
But another headline, Ebert, You know, the Ebert who's dead, but somehow he's still reviewing movies. I think he has people. He might have a kid or something. I don't know. The Harry Potter prequel. The Harry Potter prequel, Fantastic Beasts, The Crime of Grindelwald. A big budget, holiday timed blockbuster about racism, which may not exactly be that joyful escapist entertainment families are looking for this time of year. What is this? It's about racism?
So there's a lot of things that are happening in this universe where Grindelwald is almost in a lot of ways kind of building up a base like Trump did, where he's trying to stir up the worst inclinations and the worst ideas that people have about, now in this case it's magic users versus muggles or no mages, which are people who don't do magic, and he's almost in a lot of ways calling for a genocide. It's really dark. It's not the feel-good hit that you're like, oh, I'm going to take my kids to see like a Harry Potter movie. The first one was very fun and freewheeling, dark at times. However, you know, you could take a kid to see it and it's still kind of a Harry Potter style movie. This is very much it's the Empire of the series. It's where things go bad for our heroes.
Yeah, but it's like Empire if like you just can't. It sounds like it's Empire, but you just can't jump into it at all.
Do you know what I attribute this to? I liken it to? Mm-hmm. Remember Iron Man 2?
Yes.
Where Iron Man 2 is like a complete bullshit movie that is just there so they could kind of set up everything else that's going to happen. That's what the Crimes of and it's not even pronounced Grindelwald. It's Grindelwald. They pronounce it totally different in the movie than what everyone says on TV. But this is a movie that is strictly there to set up things that are going to happen. It's to build set pieces and to bring characters into the story, to move along the plot without actually fully developing and growing the characters who are in that plot.
One last headline. Forbes. This is Forbes. Okay, seriously though, Forbes has turned into a giant clickbait shit site.
When the hell did that happen?
I don't know when that happened. I don't know when it happened, but Forbes has basically been online. Forbes is flat. It's garbage. It's hot garbage. But great headline. The issue at hand is whether the unexpectedly lousy sequel has sunk the whole 5-part Fantastic Beasts franchise.
I'm confident it's going to make enough money, and Harry Potter is like a crown jewel for Warner Brothers. They'll find a way to get it right and get it back on track. It's not that far off base. However, I do think that with the Crimes of Grindelwald and kind of knowing how J.K. Rowling's online presence is, especially how like politically outspoken she gets, this is definitely about a dude who's trying to whip up his base, and she's kind of drawing a lot of parallels from what's going on now in, you know, our world 2018 to things that are now happening, I guess, in the early days, just after like World War I. And it's interesting. It's interesting in a lot of ways, and I do believe that what she's trying to do, if there was a book, you could have did it so much better if there was a book. But with this, it's just kind of, it's choppy, it's dicey, it's Swiss cheese. It's them trying to just move along, get to that next movie. So, I don't know. You don't go see it. If you are not a die-hard Harry Potter fan, do not go see this movie, because you really need to see everything before you do. And even if you are, you're still going to be like, what the fuck?
So as a die-hard pothead, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't call you a pothead with a straight face.
Can't get everything over, man.
Is this your least favorite Harry Potter movie?
Oh yeah, by far.
Wow.
By far. Yeah, it is. It looks beautiful. David Yates does a beautiful job making things look magical. That said, it's like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Перебиты, поломаны крылья, серой болью всю душу свело.